Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to show you how I got this look here today using my British Museum and ZeeSea Off With Their Heads palette. If that sounds interesting, stick around. We're going to get started in just a second. Before we do, if you're new here, hi. I'm Annie. I am a 40-something lover of color who believes you can have fun with color at any age. If that sounds fun or interesting, if you'd like to see a little more color in your timeline, if you love indie makeup and color as much as I do, as much as I know all my subscribers do here, I would love it if you would stick around and subscribe yourself. That said, I am not a trained makeup artist. I actually work in education. This is just me having fun with makeup as someone with no training whatsoever. So, let's talk a little bit about this palette. So here is the palette. I did do a first impression video on this along with its sister palette, the We're All Mad Here palette, as well as an eye swatch video. I purchased it because, yeah, you guessed it, the packaging. Do you see that amazing snow globe effect? It is so, so, so beautiful. And I am terribly in love with the packaging. I just am. This palette is no longer, unfortunately, this whole collection is no longer available on ZeeSea's standalone website. However, they do have an authorized AliExpress shop. So you can still purchase this palette along with the We're All Mad palette and some of the other pieces from this collection over there on AliExpress. If you choose to do that, please be sure that you are purchasing from their official shop. They have reported on their Facebook page that some people have received damaged or counterfeit items when purchasing from not their official shop. So please be careful. I will leave a link to their shop down below. It is not an affiliate link. It will just take you directly to their authorized shop to make sure that you are getting the real deal and not something that is garbage or that could harm you. Also, I did reach out to ZeeSea about whether or not they were going to restock these palettes, and from what I can gather from the email, it does sound like it is going to happen eventually, but not anytime soon. There's a bit of a language barrier there because this is a Chinese company, and I think sometimes things get a little lost in translation. But according to the email that they sent me, they said that production time for these palettes is long because the production process is complicated, and you will see why when I show you the inside of the palette. So it does take longer. And so they did say they are going to be doing it, but it is going to take a while. And as soon as they have the product in, they said they will relist it. So there is that. Let's take a peek at the inside of this palette. Here it is. And you can see why the production time would be longer. These checker pans, I imagine, can't be easy to make. Split pans are probably a little easier, but I'm imagining that this takes quite a while. Not to mention the component itself is really complicated, what with the snow globe and all of the amazing filigree kind of work. This is all raised and beautiful. So yeah, I can see why it would take a long time. This color story, I say it many times because I have to be 100% honest, is odd. It's really weird. I don't understand it, but there it is. So I think that's all I have to say about these palettes. Again, I'm not going to mention how much these cost because I purchased them on the actual website, and I'm not sure what they are on AliExpress. I think they run for about $35, I think, on AliExpress, but don't quote me on that. But you feel free to go check them out and yeah, go from there. I did wear my cute little teacup hat today because it's Alice in Wonderland. I actually made this little hat for a Queen of Hearts costume that I made a couple of years ago, so I try to bust it out whenever I can because I kind of love it. Anyhow, I think that's enough about the palette. It's enough about my silly little hat. Let's go ahead and dive into the look. Alrighty then, so I think what I'm going to do with this palette today is play with just the red here, the pink, this checkered pan, and this as well. In fact, I say I think, but I know that's exactly what I'm going to do. If it looks like I've already had makeup on and taken it off, that's because I have. I sat down to edit, and managed to delete the files. So here I am, I'm going to film it again. Yeah, so yeah, here we go. All right, I'm going to start with that pink shade. I do wish that these shadows had names, but they don't. So I'm just going to go in with this pink shade here. I'm going to use this big fluffy brush. This is a Morphe M441, and I am just going to run that all through my crease. I have already primed my eyes using my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre, like always. I will say this shadow blends beautifully. I already know this because I have already used it once today. I'm feeling very, very much like a dumb bunny right now. So you can see just how quick and easy that was. That was super simple. And it is like past lunchtime and I haven't eaten yet, so I'm sorry you may hear my stomach growl. You may or may not also hear my daughter practicing again. Again, I filmed this already once today when nobody was up and awake, but here I am. Super like that, super easy to do, super, super great shadow. I really, really love that shadow. I think it blends out so, so nicely. Next up, we are going to go in with the red, if I can find the brush that I want to use for the red. It is not the brush that I want. I just cleaned them after I used them. Well, just used my, okay, red. On my IT Cosmetics crease brush. So just going right in with that matte red shade, and I am just going to pop it here in the outer V. You can see again just how nicely this blends. I love this red because it is a true red. It does not pull pink, which I find to be pretty rare for me. I normally get a red that pulls more pink on my skin tone. So it's nice to have one that is actually truly, truly red. And I'm just gonna kind of blend that all around here. You guys know by now this is kind of my go-to kind of shape. This is what I do pretty much almost every morning just because I can get it done quickly, and that's a must when one has to get up at 4:30 in the morning to get ready for work. So yeah, that blended out really beautifully. I really, really like that. We're gonna go ahead and obviously match the other eye here. And then just because I want to make sure that that is beautifully blended all together, I'm just going to go in with that first brush, no additional product, and I'm just going to blend along the edges. Then I do want to deepen this up a bit today. So I am going to take the black, which is in here. So this is the black here. It looks like it has some purple sparkles in it, but those sparkles sadly do not stay on your eyeball. So it is just pretty much a matte black. I am going to just pick a little bit of that up on a Morphe M152. I'm going to go very lightly with this because it is pretty pigmented, and I don't want it to take over the look. So I'm just going to add just a smidgen here in the outer V area, and then I'll go back in with some red and blend it out so that it's more red heavy, if that makes sense. I think I'm okay with that for just the moment. I'm going to come back in with that fluffier brush and do some more blending. The black is a little more difficult to blend out than the other shades are. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm not going to lie, that took way longer this time than it did last time, but last time I used a different brush for the black. Last time I used like a fluffier brush to apply the black, so it was already more blended, if that makes sense. All right, we are going to go ahead and get to work on the lower lash line before I do my lid. So for the lower lash line, I'm going to pick up some more black, this time on just a little flat packing brush here. I'm just going to put that right along my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go in with a smudger brush. This one just happens to be from IT Cosmetics, with some more red, and we're going to smudge it out here. All right, so just as an FYI, I do have a little bit of kick up from the red in the pan. I don't know if you can see any hanging out here on the yellow, but it's not bad, and I'm certainly not getting any fallout on my face from it, so that does not bother me at all. Let's go in with a little bit of that pink shade now. I'm going to pick it up on my Luxie mini round brush here, and we are just going to blend everything out down here. All right, for my lid, I am going to use the checkerboard shade here. Last time I used it with my flat shader brush here from Morphe, or any other flat shader brush will work fine, but it is very finicky and a little difficult to pick up. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and lay down my glitter primer, and then I'm going to use one of these sponge tip applicators and see if that works any better than a regular brush. So just using that Morphe shader brush, I am just going to put some glitter glue here, and I'm just going to do my standard kind of cut crease shape. And then I'm going to use this brush here, and let's see if it'll pick up a little bit better on this kind of sponge tip. I don't know if I'm going to have any luck. We'll see. I don't seem to be having much luck. Yeah, hardly any luck at all. That's unfortunate. I was really hoping that this would be the trick to making these shadows work a little bit easier. I mean, that's a little bit better than the brush was, but it's still not great. And at least I can be a little more precise than I was with my finger. So, oh, there we go. You just have to dig a bit, which makes me sad because I love the way the pan looks. I think the pan is so beautiful. And now it's it's all messed up right here. I'm reserving this spot here so it stays cute. Okay, yeah, I have to say, I think that that actually did work better than the brush, and it did work better than my finger. I am going to go back in with that flat shader brush that I used, or just rather it crease brush, to kind of blend this area here. I'm just going to add a little bit more red and just make sure everything is kind of meshing together there. I like that. I think that's pretty. Let's go ahead and I'm going to do the other eye. All right, we are going to add now the inner corner highlight. So I am going to pick up some of this pink shade. Now this pink shade here is like a putty shade, so it is really difficult to grab. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the other side of this brush. Let's see if I can wipe it off a little bit just to kind of get rid of some of that checkerboard shade. And now we're going to see if this will pick up this shadow. So this is, it's a very weird formula because it's like a putty shadow, like I said. So when you push on it, it like moves around, but it also is flaky at the same time. It's a very, very strange shadow. And I'm going to pop some of that here. And this brush actually works fantastic for this. So if you have any of these little foam applicators in your house, these are a great trick to get some of these little trickier shadows. That is so, so bright. I'm going to pick up a smidgen and I'm going to just put it here under my brow bone. I always forget my brow bone highlight. I'm terrible. Ooh, that one got a little crazy, I'm gonna go in here with this little mini round and blend that out a little. Holy cow. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and apply my eyeliner and my mascara, and then I will be back to give you guys my final thoughts on the Off With Their Heads palette. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this palette. First of all, we all know why I purchased it. We purchased it because it's beautiful. It is fun. It is so pretty to look at. I love the snow globe effect. It is gorgeous. I did not purchase it for this weird as heck color story. I am really not sure what ZeeSea was going for with this, but it's strange. It's all good until you get to these yellow and orange shades. I'm not quite sure why they're there. This glitter is great. I have used it. I have not experienced any fallout. It did not go into my eyes. It did not fall out all over my face. It did stay put where I wanted it to stay, so that's good. However, it is a very, very chunky glitter, and I wouldn't really recommend using it on your eye just in case it does make it into your eye. That is going to hurt and that is going to cause you some problems. So I definitely wouldn't recommend using this on your eye unless you're very, very comfortable with glitter. That said, this is a gorgeous shade. I love this orange shade right here, even though it makes no sense with this color story. I really love it. I think it's beautiful. It is a wonderful formula. I used it in my first impression video and it was so, so, so beautiful. And you will have seen swatches also in my eye swatch video. This red metallic here is also a very lovely formula, super easy to work with. The mattes are so good. I am so, so shocked at how blendable and beautiful those mattes are. This pink shade, I mean, you saw how quickly it blended out today. It was absolutely fantastic. So, so easy to use. These two shimmers here though, this one and this one. So this pan, first of all, is so cute, and it breaks my heart that it is not cute up here anymore. You can see I have gouged some, maybe you can see, I have gouged some big giant holes in there trying to fish out some of the shadows. And this one again has got a big giant hole in it from me poking it and pushing it and doing weird things to it. Not easy to pick up on a brush at all. Not really even easy to pick up on your finger at all. These two are definitely not beginner friendly shades. No, they're just not. I did find, like I said, I had better luck with them using one of these sponge type applicators. So if you picked these palettes up and you are having some issues with them, I recommend giving one of these types of applicators a try and see if that works out for you. Because once I was able to pick it up on that little sponge, it worked better. And I guess I just had to kind of scrape off the top layer where I had kind of smushed it with my finger a lot trying to grab it. Same thing goes for that weird little putty formula. Again, I've never had like one of those formulas that is also flaky at the same time. So there's that. It's very, very strange. I think that is all I have to say about this palette, other than if I lost this palette for one reason or another, I would actually purchase it again because it's pretty. I like having it here. I like being able to look at it. I love watching the little snow globe thing happen, and I just think it's beautiful, and it's a very welcome addition to my collection. These palettes, both of them, the Off With Her Head and the We're All Mad here, are definitely not standalone palettes for me. Trying to come up with a cohesive look, more than 2 cohesive looks using just that palette, is very, very difficult for me, because the color story is so strange. However, I can see myself pulling in some of these shades for other looks. That red, again, so nice, true red. I really love this checkerboard shade on my lid. I think it is really beautiful. It's unique. It's sparkly. It's got that kind of really cool kind of red shift, red gold shift to it. I really, really like it. So I would definitely actually rebuy these if something happened to them and I needed to. All right, I guess that's everything. I am rambling on and on. I'm going to go. So I'm going to say thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you did like today's video, please don't forget to hit that like button down below. And while you're there, scooch on over, hit subscribe. Next to subscribe is that little bell. If you ring that bell, you will be notified of all of my uploads. Maybe, depending on whether or not YouTube decides to do that. And of course, you can find me on Instagram as well, at SeeMyBliss_beauty. I am there most days. Last week I was not, I'm gonna be honest. Work is kicking my butt. So I'm hopefully gonna get back there today. Anyhow, if you leave your house today, please don't forget to wear your mask, wash your hands, be kind to your friends, be kind to your neighbors, be kind to your families, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.